Commissioner, good to see you again, and I asked you this question before, but I'll ask it to you now because there's been a change, and that is, of course, Canadian fans are always looking for a better date for the RBC Canadian Open, perhaps moved away from right after a major championship. We know there's going to be some changes to the schedule in 2019. Any word on if the RBC Canadian Open might move spots?
Well, I would, when you go back to the changes that we're contemplating, we in the PGA of America have announced that we're moving the PGA Championship to May and the Players Championship to March. We've talked about some additional changes that we'd like to make, but we're particularly on the back end of the season and potentially ending our season prior to the start of the NFL. There's a lot of work to do on that front, so we've got to get to a place where that's something that we think we can do, where in order to be able to talk about any other changes to events in our schedule. I would just add that we're extremely proud of the RBC Canadian Open with RBC, with the job that Lawrence has done in a short period of time, and we're working closely, and we're going to continue to do as partners everything we can to continue to elevate a great national open.
In the same vein along the schedule, how important is it for the PGA Tour to have a bona fide off-season?
Well, I think that we played last year 47 events. We played 49 events this coming season. I've been asked this question a lot. You go back 50 years and there was 47 events on our schedule. 60 years ago, there were 48 events on our schedule. So our season has always been a full calendar year season. And our players are independent contractors. They don't play all 47 or 48 events. They play the number of events that they think put them in the best position to accomplish their goals and ultimately to compete for the FedEx Cup. So, I think that if we create a true off-season, there's so much demand for the game of golf in the United States, abroad, and internationally. Our players are going to always have opportunities over the entire course of the year. So I like to think that they're not playing week in and week out for 27 to 31 weeks. They have the ability to select over a longer period of time, which allows them to be prepared both physically, mentally, and also to adapt to the golf courses and the conditions that suit their games the best. So the system has worked really, really well. I think balancing time is always going to be a real challenge for any professional, both on the golf course and in the professional world.
I was going to say that. I was just asking for a friend, that last question. We have a new generation of people coming up who are consuming content in a different way. Mm-hmm. And what's the PGA Tour strategy to reach out? I've seen some of it already, but what's the tour strategy to reach out and entice millennials to become big golf fans?
Well, I think any strategy always starts with what happens in the field of play. And we have a group of young, international, relatable, purposeful stars. Gives us a perfect opportunity. The average age of a winner has come down 5 years in the last 5 years. The top three in the FedEx Cup were 23, 24 years old. And so we need to take advantage of the fact that we've got these young stars and invest in telling their story to younger fans and to fans that are, what we call drama seekers, those people that really are on the fringe of what we're doing. So we've launched PGA Tour Live, expanded our programming. We're investing in storytelling. We're investing in reaching that younger audience, and we're very aware of the way that younger audience is consuming their media. So you see our announcement this week with Twitter and Intel, AR, VR, really being where consumers are is our strategy. And I would say that while we've made progress, it's still early on. More to come, though.
All right. Commissioner, good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Always great to be with you. Appreciate your support of the game.